Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome aboard. It's the Hurricane Spliffy Show once again. Happy Saturday. Let me get my notes here. Oh, shit, there goes the mouse. As you see, I'm flying solo once again today. It's been quite a week. I like to start with the updates. First of all, first, I got to explain. I just got out of the shower, so the hair's kind of mushed down. So forgive me. It'll dry. As time passes, it'll dry. Local update. Farmer Dave is back at Rush in Chicago. Another series of chemotherapy, and they're going to start. They're going to start stem cell treatment next month. So things are looking up there. I'm happy to announce. Hey, dog. Welcome aboard. So that's an update on the local news. Now, I'm not going to talk a lot about this whistleblower thing because I know you're hearing a lot about it. But the House Intelligence Committee released the whistleblower report. Now it's a 9-page single-space document, which you can read. If you want to read a 9-page single-space document. Now, you can go ahead and read a 9-page single-space document, or you can do what I did. And here's what I did. Download the SoundCloud app, okay? No charge. And they got a woman on there who's reading this thing to you, okay? Won't take long. After all, it's only a 9-page single-space document, okay? But she reads this thing. It's like a spy novel audiobook, okay? It's so fucking good. If this isn't an impeachable offense, nothing is. Listen to this recording, folks. It's well worth it. Well worth it, okay? Take a few minutes, listen to this thing. This guy fucked himself over. We got a president. Well, I'm sorry. We got a guy in the Oval Office. I never mean to call him that. We got a guy in the Oval Office who's going to be packing his fucking bags, okay? Except he's got this fucking Senate that I don't know, for some reason, I guess it's the cash. Okay, it's got to be the money. Got to be the only reason. They're not going to impeach him, okay? They should. They're not going to kick him out. I know they should, but they're not going to do it. But I just want to let you know that that's what's going on there. Okay. You want to read this thing? Go ahead and read it. You want to listen to it? It's a whole lot more fun to have this woman read it to you, because she really makes it sound spooky as shit, okay? She makes it sound like a spy novel. It's fantastic. So I just wanted to get that out there about the whistleblower thing, okay? Something related to that is that there's this, hey, Buds and Hazard, welcome aboard. Glad to see you here early this time. Yeah, got you up and early. Usually join the show kind of late. Glad to see you here early enough for some stories. The former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld, who's a Republican who has decided to challenge Trump in the 2020 election, thinks the fucker ought to be executed over this. He says it's high treason. And traitors ought to be executed, and he thinks Trump deserves a death penalty. So I tend to agree with him. Let's just hang the motherfucker. Like the good old days. Of course, the federal death penalty is injection, lethal injection. And what they've settled on at that level is pentobarbital sodium powder, which is what they used to use to put dogs and cats down with back in the 70s, till they came up with something called T61, which was something that was developed by the Nazis, a much more efficient way. But if they want to use pentobarbital sodium on Trump, I have no objection to that. So just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, he thinks we ought to just kill the motherfucker, and I can't argue that point. So you're working on your grow room, huh? Sounds like a great idea. And yeah, Trump's my homie. Yeah, fat chance, dog. Fat chance. So Dog and I took a road trip Tuesday. We went to Indiana. I know it doesn't sound like fun. I mean, after all, it is Indiana. But we went to a smoke shop there, a place called Smoke 219, 7451 Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, Indiana. Yes, it was. Buzz, it was a cigarette run. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, dog. I let you hang your head out the window. He likes to open his mouth and, flap his tongue out the side, out the side of his mouth in the air, in the wind. He likes to do that. So, yeah, we went to Hammond. This is a cool shop. They have their own glass blower, a couple actually, and they make all kinds of cool glass shit. And you can even take glass blowing classes there. So just don't inhale. At least not when you're blowing glass. Yeah, he does drool all over the side of the car. It's a mess. I got to keep the rear windows closed on his side. Anyway, I got to keep the rear window closed. Otherwise, it gets all over the seats. But really cool place. Check out their website, smoke219.com, of course. And they get a 4.5 on Yelp. So check out their Yelp shit too. But hey, it's past 4:20. Fuck. I'm not paying attention again. Let's spark up this thing. How come you guys will let me fall down on a job here? No fair. Anyway. Oh, you're high. I see, buds. You're supposed to wait for me. Or at least keep me in front. I got a clock right here. Corner of the laptop. Right fucking in front of me. And I'm 3 minutes late. What the hell's wrong with this shit? Anyway, I asked this guy to be on the lookout for something for me. Well, I asked him if he had what I was looking for. I'm not going to say what it is because it's a gift for somebody who might watch the show. And I asked him if his glass blower could make one for me. He checked, and I guess the glass blower said he could, but the owner said he was going to a convention next week, and he'd look around at the convention for me, see if there wasn't one there instead. So he thought, I guess maybe he thought he could find one that was cooler than his glass blower could make. But he's going to look for me, which I thought was pretty cool. He took my number, said he'd call me, told him about the show. He wrote the name down. He said, "What's it about?" I said, "It's mostly about smoking dope and putting Trump down." He seemed to like that. I told him the Ivanka Trump story about her grabbing cock and being a slut. He thought that was very funny. In fact, so did everybody else in the shop. So, excuse me. My nose is running. So, so if you live in the area or you happen to be passing through Indiana, stop in at Smoke 219. It's exit 2 off I-80, 7451 Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond, Indiana. Forging Seeker, welcome aboard. Haven't heard from you in a while. Welcome back to the ship. Oh, I'm out. We were just talking about a cool smoke shop in Hammond, Indiana called Smoke 219. Doc and I went there Tuesday. And very nice folks, very nice selection. Blow their own glass. You can take glass blowing lessons there. And fun place. So that's so much for catching up. Now I want to get to a subject that's very near and dear to a lot of us. Vaping. Now, we got 12 dead people across the country, and 805 people have been hospitalized in 46 states. And they claim most of them are THC users, you know, like us. And there's a lot of myth and mythology and bullshit and crap that's being put out there. Yeah, I've been trying to get out there, Seeker, trying to get out in the chat, trying to make myself known, spread my name around, and kind of like horseshit. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of reading of a lot of articles about all this vaping shit and what's going on, and I'm living in a state of stupidity, namely Illinois. Another state of stupidity is Wisconsin, okay? They're both blaming it on weed, okay? They're both saying it's THC that's the problem, and it's not, okay? The most comprehensive study done, and it was done with a very small sampling, has been done by NBC. The NBC News Network has done what I consider to be the best study so far. And they've done it with a very small sampling of only 18 vape cartridges. And you say, well, how could they do it with only 18 vape cartridges? Well, I'm going to break it down for you. They bought 18 vape cartridges, 3 of them legally. Okay. The 3 legal ones they bought contain no heavy metals, no pesticides, and no residual solvents. Okay. Now they hired one of the nation's leading cannabis testing laboratories. Okay. CannaSafe. Okay. So they ran everything through CannaSafe. So CannaSafe said the 3 legal ones they bought. Now these weren't all medical. Okay. They were medical and ones that came out of shops. A shop in California where you can buy recreational. So, I mean, this was split. It wasn't just medical. Okay. Now, the other 15 they bought off the street. $13 of those 15 contained vitamin E acetate. Now, vitamin E acetate is being used as a substitute for propylene glycol, which is what's used in the vape cartridges to thin out the wax or the other concentrates that are used to make what you vape. It's a food grade propylene glycol that's used to make the liquid from the solid. Well, they substitute vitamin E for the propylene glycol, I would imagine because it's cheaper. Well, vitamin E acetate is an oil, and it's a residual solvent. One of the substances that wasn't contained in the legal vape products that they bought. Okay, something you don't want in what you're vaping. 87, welcome aboard. Join the party. Talking about vaping and what you don't want and what you do want in your vape products. Now, so 13 out of 15 of the 18 cartridges they bought had vitamin E acetate in them. Now, 10 out of 10 of the 15 cartridges that they bought contained pesticides. Something else you might not want to vape. Now, myclobutanil is a fungicide. Now, you wouldn't want a fungus on your weed. Now, I know that at the dispensaries, the medical dispensaries in Illinois here, that when they grow the weed, they inspect the weed, and if they have a fungus, they reject the weed. So if they're growing weed and it has a fungus, I mean, outside of what's grown for medical use, if they were growing weed for non-medical consumption to put in a cartridge for street use, they might want to spray it with a fungicide so the fungus wouldn't grow on it. And if they used microbutanil, that would not be a good thing. Because when you vaporize microbutanil, it turns into hydrogen cyanide. And all of the 15 cartridges tested contained it. So most likely the vitamin E acetate, this oil, it lays in your lungs and gives you pneumonia-like symptoms that don't go away, which sounds very much like what I'm reading about are the symptoms of some of the people that are being hospitalized. And the other people are dying, which it could very easily be caused by hydrogen cyanide. So I think NBC nailed it. So my advice is either don't buy street cartridges. Buy them in the shops. Or B, do what I do. I make my own. Although buying empty cartridges now has become more difficult. Amazon stopped selling them completely. And I imagine other sites have too. I have an ample supply of empty cartridges at this point, but I make my own. I buy my concentrates at the dispensary, and you can go online and you can buy, I buy this stuff called wax liquidizer, which is a food grain propylene glycol product that's made specifically for liquidizing concentrates. And you put 2 milliliters to a gram of concentrate, and you put it in your microwave for approximately 17 seconds, and you stir it up, and you can fill 3 large cartridges with it. And that's what I do. And it's safe, and or you can just continue to buy your cartridges from the right place, but stop buying street cartridges if you are, because that's where the danger lies. So that's my advice. Hello, Courtney. Welcome aboard. Hey, there's Heidi in the background. See her? Look, she's looking at us. Hello, Heidi. Drinking water. She'll only drink out of one of the bowls. I have to turn the bowls around to get her to drink out of the other one. I got a Blue Dream cartridge today, waiting for this evening to relax and taste the goodness that is Blue Dream. That's the way to go, dog. Foraging Seeker. Oh, just talking to the dog. Okay. 10 out of 10 out of 15 of the 18? Yes. 10 out of 10 contain pesticides. And 13 out of 15 contain vitamin E acetate. And they all contained microbutanil, which is when vaped turns into hydrogen cyanide. So all of the street cartridges potentially could vape into hydrogen cyanide. Hopefully government will adequately oversight this all. I think my eyes are watering. It's all making spot checks with secret shoppers, sending product to labs for safety and authenticity testing. Well, see, none of that's necessary. They just got to listen to NBC. What's being sold in the righteous outlets, the licensed places, is safe. Safe tested. The stuff coming out of the legal places contain no heavy metals, no pesticides, and no residual solvents. That means no vitamin E acetate, no pesticides, no fungicides. Everything was cool. You're quite welcome, Seeker. Oh, you know what? I gotta move the laptop again and let them out like last week, or they'll be humping in the background again. You know, and nobody wants to see that except Dog. You know, he's the only one. Dog's the only one who wants to see dogs hump because, you know, that's the way it is. He's into that. Not my owner. Just because you're a stray. Beg your pardon? I don't like that old and lazy shit there, buds. Unless you're talking about Dog. He's old before his time. Well, yes, it does need to be done with shops all over. But at least NBC took the right step. Everybody else just seems to be running around like chicken with their feet cut off. You know, I mean, like I say, Illinois and Wisconsin just right away blamed it on THC. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. Is your girl that big, buds? I mean, does it take up that much space? Exactly. Old school reporting. I mean, they actually did some investigative reporting. They did the right thing. You know, they went out there and actually did what they were supposed to fucking do. You keep getting more tense. I'm tense all the time. This government makes me fucking nervous. And I'm pup tet in a wigwam. I'm too tense. But yeah, this, I just, like I say, I buy the concentrate and make my own. No vitamin E acetate. I've been doing this for over a year now, and my lungs are healthy and clear. I go to the doctor, everything's fine. Yeah, to reduce the tense, exactly. Need no grow tense to reduce the tense. Exactly. It's all THC's fault. It's yeah. The plant did it. Well, it's because them fucking Republicans don't want to give it up. They want to keep it a Schedule I narcotic. Okay. They want to keep it a Schedule I narcotic. So that there can't be any medical research because of pharma. Okay. It's all about the pill. Okay. Pharma is making too much money right now. It's all about the pill. Okay. They'll make a pill out of it. Okay. Okay. They'll sell you the CBD tablets. Okay. They'll sell you the fucking CBD tablets, but they won't let you smoke the weed. You know when the Civil War is going to start? When this fucking impeachment gets to the fucking Senate and they say no. When people hit the streets and say, "What the fuck? You're not going to throw this guy out of office for all the shit he's done?" That's when it's going to happen. When the uprising in the streets happen, when they don't take this fucking guy out of office, that's when it's going to happen. Sometime around Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody. It certainly can. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. The whole world was watching. 68 Democratic National Convention. The whole world was watching. I saw the King riots in Chicago. Mayor Daley gave a shoot to kill order. Can you imagine the mayor giving a shoot to kill order? Things were tense back then. You know, the Black Panthers were a good organization in the black neighborhood. They fed children before school, kids who couldn't get a meal. You know, they kept order in the community. And who was it? The mayor of Philadelphia, I believe they dynamited their fucking headquarters. Dynamited. Yeah, pretty much it is. There's a lot of heat in the street there. It's always been a difficult city for African Americans to grow up in. I felt it happen. So wild, that crowd dynamic, when it's gone mad with blind rage. I was not aware of I was not aware of that riot, but I feel if it was somehow strong in the neighboring, you made it. Hi. Reasons range. Welcome aboard. Yeah. Yeah. The 68 convention, it was like, I mean, it was, the police took the badges off, couldn't get their badge numbers, and it was crushing crowds, it was, oh, I got to let the puppies in. Excuse me a moment. Buster, get in the house. Buster, hey, get in the house. Buster, get in the house. Hey. Excuse me, I have to take a drink and a hit. Wait a minute, I gotta move this a little closer. There. A hippie with a backpack wandering off a Greyhound bus and into a strange and enraged city isn't fun either. Felt like I had a target on me from all sides. I can understand that. We have freedom of religion. Why don't we have freedom of government? Well, that's called anarchy. We can't have anarchy. You laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at you because you're all the same. Yeah, that's why I always look at people and I see them wearing a necktie, and all I can think of is, you have a social noose around your neck. Okay. No, you can't have laws without government oversight because, well, you can have laws without oppression, but you can't have laws without government oversight because then how would you know if people were breaking the laws? I mean, there has to be some kind of oversight. I mean, if there wasn't oversight, how would we know? How would we know that that asshole in the White House wasn't breaking the law? I mean, that's why there's a House Oversight Committee, and a Senate Oversight Committee who isn't doing their job. There has to be oversight. I mean, church was separated from state. I thought it was time now to separate corporate from state. But dog, get me thinking it's time to separate the state up out of the people's butts and back to the. I tell you, I got a story about separating church and state. Duke University and the University of North Carolina. In fact, it was right after another story I have, short one. They're trying to fuck them out of federal funds because their Middle East studies program isn't Christian and Jewish enough. It's too Islamic. Okay. Now, why should they be able to dictate what their Middle Eastern studies program is about? Why? I mean, that it isn't religiously bent in their direction enough, in the government's direction enough. Okay, especially considering that it's the purpose of the studies program is to promote diplomacy and national security in the Middle East. That's the purpose of the program. Last time I looked, there aren't a whole lot of Christians in the Middle East. Okay. So how Christian do you want to make this Middle East program? Okay. So they're trying to deprive them of funds because it isn't Christian enough and it isn't Jewish enough. Well, there's only one Jewish country in all of the Middle East. So I think leaning towards an Islamic program makes a whole lot more sense. The studies program should lean in that direction, it would seem to me, being a Middle East studies program. So what the fuck here? And what say should the government have what these funds are used for, since they've been used for that since 2005? I mean, that's what the program was set up for. Middle East Studies program. Like I said, for diplomacy and national security. What are they thinking? And why are they interfering? I notice there's been a lot of talk coming out of the White House. Trump and Christianity. And when did he turn holy, this snatch grabbing philanderer? That's what I wanted to know. I have another discrimination story I wanted to talk about too. Happened September 14th. It was this guy Isam Abdallah and this guy Abduruf Akawat I'll get there. I'm only going to pronounce his last name once. Okay. Akha Walda. There we go. We're flying out of Birmingham, Alabama. They're members of the Muslim community there in Birmingham. They're acquainted with one another, but they weren't flying together. They were flying to Dallas on an affiliate of American Airlines. And the flight was delayed, and Isam Abdallah got up to use the facilities. And when he came out of the bathroom, there was a flight attendant standing there practically with her ear to the door, you know. So he went and sat down, and a short while later they announced that the flight was canceled and that Tanya, welcome aboard. And they announced that the flight was canceled and that everybody had to get off the plane and get on a different one. And so as they were getting off the plane, Isan and Abduruf were directed in another direction, and they were questioned by the FBI. Seems that the crew weren't comfortable flying with them, and the reason was because Isam flushed the toilet twice. When he was in the can, you know, he flushed the toilet twice. So they're not going to sue American Airlines for discrimination, but they are asking that the Department of Transportation investigate this, and which I thought was pretty nice of them. But I also thought was pretty ridiculous of the flight attendant, and why she would be listening at the door for how many flushes this guy. I mean, you know, it's a courtesy flush. You know, how horrible is that? Oh my God, he flushed the toilet twice. Let's call the FBI. So, yeah, so be on the lookout for people who flush the toilet twice. Who got kicked out of court? Well, I'll have to read that all later. If I go back, I'll get all fucked up again, like I got a couple of weeks ago, and somebody else, dog, can fill me in. Well, don't do it more than once, foraging seeker. Okay. Okay, if you do it more than once, they might call Homeland Security. Okay. It's yeah, it's being deep shit then, wouldn't you? Wouldn't want that to happen. Yeah, you'd be tagged as subversive for not flushing drinking water down the toilet. But then in some decades to come, we might get arrested for doing just that. So precious drinkable water might be absolutely. Dog, you missed Tanya's birthday, you bastard. Wow. It's time for Weed of the Week. And it's
Mine I got biscuits.
oh, here we go. Up here someplace. Mr. Clean. And it's 22.94% THC. And
Mine here.
it's good.
It's biscuits.
What can I say?
Heidi.
You're a bastard for missing her birthday. That's why. You're saying Heidi, Mayor. July 28th. He's never a bastard. Well, I didn't say I didn't love him. I could still call him names. He's that good a friend. So So, Trump thinks the Nobel Peace Prize is rigged because he didn't get one. He's wow. Yeah. Look at that. You're right. Half century. Really, Seeker. Congrats to you both on being alive. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate the congrats. I hope to make it through this one. That'd certainly be nice. I have a long way to go, though, so we'll see what happens. Whatever. No idea what that means. You have a language all your own. Hey, no more years. Shit, I want a lot more years. First of all, I'm relatively painless, and I'm extremely harmless. And yeah, I have to thank you, dog, because you've given me something to do. Having gone over the hill, I find the walk to be easier. Now you wait. Once you get in the valley, it gets a little tough going back up again. I'm climbing again. It's getting a little rough. The knees. It's the knees. So Tanya, you'll be 50 next year. That's good. That's good. Keep thinking that way. Keep thinking you'll be. 50 was a tough one for me because that's as far as my father made it. So I guess I should have thought more about 51. now, that's the first time I ever thought about that. Shit, he made it to 50. I should have thought about 51. Oh, no, I'm not doing twice a day, 7 days a week. No way. No way. No way. I need bestie lunchtime. I need time at the tap up at the bar. I need no way that's happening. No way. That's just not going to fly. Besides, it takes me an entire day to prepare for this show, and I have to watch all the programs and read all the news. You have no idea what goes into all of this. I mean, I can't just sit and talk to you folks. He can swing that. I can't do that. I just can't. I watch other people do that, and I don't know how they do it. I can't do that yet. I don't know how. I don't know how to just, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This shit actually thinks he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for North Korea, of all things, because he shut down their nuke program. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Okay. They're shooting missiles all over the fucking place. And I'm sure they're still developing nuke shit underground. Okay, without us knowing about it. I mean, and as far as world peace is concerned, he also says Japan and South Korea have endorsed him for a peace prize. Although that may be true, I'm sure he probably muscled them into it. You know how he does. And besides, he withdrew from the Iranian deal, and now he's sent troops to Saudi Arabia, and he's going to retaliate for this Syrian gas thing. And I mean, things are raging in the Middle East. So I don't see where there's any. So where's this prize he's supposed to be getting? As usual, he's full of shit, Well, that's my after wow story. So once again, Trump's full of shit. You'd rather have a full set of strong functioning teeth than even a single hair on your head. Absolutely. Don't be surprised when it goes down your head. I'm done. Yee, dinner time. Teeth are overrated. Take care, buds. Once that epic of pain is out, that epic of pain will be no more. Don't be surprised when the nukes come down. No, you ever see Dr. Strangelove, the Doomsday Machine? It'll happen. Of course, when it happens, we won't know it. Take care, buds. Have a good weekend. Hey, I'm feeling generous. Have a good strong end, too. What the hell? So, yeah, there ain't going to be no Nobel Peace Prize for that shit. Hey, it's 4:20. Damn near. Time to light the fuse on this bomber. Be 4:20 by the time it gets there, probably. Let's see. I'm not missing it this time. Yep, here we go. Day we go to Civil War, I'm opening up a lemonade stand without a permit. Yeah, I'm that badass of a rebel. Un momento till we be blazing. We blazing now. I will wear my rebel suspenders on on that day, dog. Heck, I'm fired up enough to not wait. I'm not going to wear anything. Fuck them. Won't that be scary? I'm going to go out and scare the whole neighborhood. Hope it's warm. Hope it's warm. I don't want to deal with that shrinkage thing, embarrass myself. When grandfather passed, they asked if I wanted anything of his. If there was anything like, I asked for his suspenders. They filled the boot box. Among of them, the rebel suspenders. Yep. Never seen him wear them. And they show a little wear. But some, I see. Well, there must have been a time. Well, if you're 50 now, and they're your grandfathers, you say, that would make him relatively old. Grandpa was a rebel. From where? Oh, Alaska's roads. Are you up that way? because I spent 2 years up there. Beautiful country. And I was up there pre-pipeline when there was only 1,000 miles of paved road when I was up there. It was beautiful. It was pristine, and I loved it. Oh, lucky you. Although I had a bad experience in Seattle back in, was the summer of '67. I was with this fellow from New York, and we were rotating out of Fort Richardson, and we flew in to Seattle from Fort Rich, and then we had a flight out the next day. And we went to the Space Needle restaurant for dinner. Now, this is the summer of '67. And after dinner, we were walking back to the hotel. Oh, we rode the monorail to get to the restaurant. But, well, which was an extremely brief ride. And then we were walking back to the hotel, and there was this pool hall on the second floor of this building. So we took the elevator up to this pool hall, and we were shooting pool, and a fight broke out. And we decided to leave, and we went over to the elevator, and the doors opened, and a bunch of guys ran out of the elevator and got involved in this fight. And we got on the elevator and got out of there. It was really convenient that everybody ran out of the elevator and it was empty. And we got on and went down and got out of there. Just the two of us. It was like everybody in the whole place was involved in the fight. It was like a scene out of a movie. It was just like we escaped and unscathed. And so we kind of like went trotting down the street and realized that we were going in the wrong direction, that our hotel was behind us. So we ran across we crossed the street in the middle of the block, which is apparently taboo in Seattle. So lights come on the squad car, and we got tickets for jaywalking, and it was a $15 fine. And when you're in the Army and you're making, the fuck were we making at the time? I don't know, something ridiculous, $165 a month or some shit. It was a hard thing to have to pay, And I know, because we were only like, half a block from where this huge fucking fight was going on, that they stopped us because they didn't want to go to the fucking fight, I'm sure they got the call on the radio and said, let's stop these two assholes. And it pisses me off, that because they, it shows your ID and they can see we were GIs. They knew we didn't have a lot of fucking money. It was the Vietnam era. Come on, give us a fucking break. No, they fucked us. It pisses me off. Just pisses me off. Oh, after the war, he stayed to continue working on Alaska roads. Well, I'm sorry to hear that they built roads. Ketchikan, yeah. Wander deep, good for you. Court costs on a $15 fine could put you over $100 now. Yeah. I told you I'm smoking Mr. Clean. The weed of the week. Must be a sativa because I've been babbling my ass off here today. I had another story, a short one, and I really wanted to tell it because it pisses me off for two reasons. And maybe three because I didn't find out the results. Well, let's finish up here. Secret. I imagine Seattle region as the real paradise it was before the age industrialization. The people of the land, ancestors had abundance here in the spades. So rich, the region, pre-industrial, man. Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine it was something, really. That whole area. Yeah, and then they came up there and cut all the fucking trees. Like they did everywhere else. And like they're trying to do in Alaska now, in in a region that's been left untouched so far, and it's a shame. It's just a fucking shame. Anyway, I want to talk about Michael Cohen, Trump's former attorney, and this guy. I feel sorry for this poor sap. He got 3 years in prison for the Stormy Daniels thing, for lying to Congress. Okay. And I feel sorry for him because he's the only one who went to jail for this whole fucking thing, And I just think that's a bunch of bullshit because all these people were involved in this money laundering scheme. Okay. It's a, campaign fund money laundering scheme to pay off this hooker. Well, I'm sorry, she wasn't a hooker. She was a model, I guess you'd say. To pay her off about an affair she had with Trump. So his old lady wouldn't find out, and the rest of the world. And Cohn was his lawyer and the go-between, and because of that, he went to prison. So now he's in prison, and he's afraid he's going to face possible state charges in New York when he gets out. So he's talking to New York prosecutors. And what he's had to say to them has led to a subpoena for 8 years of Trump's tax returns by New York. And it pisses me off because Cohen's the only one who went to prison for anything involved in this. Now, as you know, they've said that, Trump can't be indicted because he's president of the United States. Well, now, and this is the other thing that pisses me off, Trump's lawyers are arguing in court that not only can he not be indicted, they're saying this fuck can't even be criminally investigated. Okay. I'm sorry, you can't even look at him now. Okay. We can't, sorry, no, don't look over here. I'm sorry. Now, remember way fucking back when, okay, he said I could go out on Fifth Avenue and I could fucking shoot somebody and nobody gives shit. Well, he didn't say give shit. I did, but he said no, but nobody care. Bingo. Yeah. Now he's saying it's for real. He couldn't be investigated for that. Sorry. Sure, I shot the guy, but don't look over here. That's what pissed me off. Just want to get that last one out there today. See, where can how far back can I read here? That's what's going to kill me and what's not. Reasons. When you build upon sand, your tower falls beneath you. Yes. But where's the civilian oversight? Shut it down. I feel I'm sickened by mercy and feel I just don't want to be here. But all countries are ruled by greed. It's easy to be happy, just to ignore the depressing shit. Yep, land on the greed. Yep, land of the greed. Yeah. If you look at my Facebook, my banner says, America makes me sick. That's the first and only banner I've ever made for Facebook. I shot the sheriff. I was in the sitting populace, so fun. One nation under guard with libertine in justice for all. How's that? Stuff has made my throat raspy today. This Mr. Clean. You got the sheriff. But you didn't get the deputy, though, right? Did you get the deputy? Okay, which one do you got the deputy? Anybody out there shooting deputies today? Trump said he solved the terrorist problem by killing their children. He said this multiple times. It's on record. Now then, look at what he has done with our neighbors' children. Don't you know how politics work? The deputy set up the sheriff. No, but I was this morning. Perhaps someone wanted to shoot me. What? Don't you see? You can't say things like, I'm going to solve terrorism by killing the children. That's genocide. I'm going to commit genocide. I'm going to solve this problem by committing genocide. You don't do that. you help people and you re-educate people. You don't deter immigration. You help people like when you come to your border. Okay? We need people. You don't send them away. You bring them into the country. We need people. This is the most disgusting approach to immigration I've ever seen in my life. This isn't immigration. This is human terrorism. Okay? This is human terrorism. It's not how you treat people. Yeah. Take the guns away from the government, give them to the people. Give them to the right people. That's the problem. Guns are in the hands of the wrong people. Well, Obama didn't do the same thing. Obama did different things. Obama was certainly more humane about things. First of all, you got to stop with these private facilities. Okay, that has to go. Every facility in this country should be government run. Okay, state or federal should be government run. Okay, there shouldn't be a privately run internment facility of any kind in this country. Prison for profit should be illegal. I can solve some terrorism, shut the government down. Trump trying to deter immigration and refugee, etc. Traffic by harming their children as a great deterrent. You're right. That's yes, exactly. Torture the children, and that's how you get things done. It's then you terrorize. You terrorize the people who are coming. They hear this, and then they stop coming here. At least that's his plan. That's what he thinks is going to happen. So, but you know what? They still come. They still need a better life. And it's just not there. It's still worth the risk. What are you going to do? It's still worth the risk. They're not going to stop coming. But of course, now they've changed the law where there's, I guess, and a judge upheld it. One of these ones he's stuck in there, I think. Where there can't be a country between you and the United States in order for before you enter this country. So I guess if you're coming from somewhere other than Mexico, you're going to have to come by boat. So it's going to slow immigration down from Central American countries. Shut the government down. Guns not logic. Obama did the same thing during the administration. He just shut. Trump won't shut. He never shuts up. I say the state locks you up. They should put you to work. Half your pay goes to your pay goes to the facility you're being housed. Fishers can make all kinds of things, crafts, cars, clothing, all kinds of things. They do now. They fucking make shit now, and they get paid shit for it. They put prisoners to work now. In these privately owned facilities. That's just what they do. You think they're going to do that? Well, don't forget, not everybody's in there to be a thief. Don't discriminate. Not everybody's in prison because they're a thief. Well, now, see, now mandatory work, that's not right either. Should be optional. What do you mean cleaning it up? U.S. prisoners are paid a pittance and none of the profits returned back. It's a bettering infrastructure of things like education and all what might help put an ex-con back on the street in best way. Absolutely, Seeker. See, that's why, I mean, they used to be called correctional facilities, okay? And now they just incarcerate people. They're prisons now. Feel the laptop. Oh, you're right, dog. I have to go, folks. Well, we can do better. In about all things, we can do better. That's good news, really. Glass half full. Yeah, you're right. I have to sign off. Laptop's hot. So remember, there's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. See you next time, I hope. Bye, folks.